Explaining all the Forsaken lore Part 3, John Doe. John Doe was happily married with Jane Doe, but then Jane Doe decided to make an OF so she could pay the bills. And even though John Doe was mad, he let Jane Doe keep the OF like the good boy he is so they can pay the bills. Everything was going well until John Doe came home early from his job at the bakery because he was sick, and then he saw his wife getting gang-banged by 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1, and his minions Jane Doe tried to explain, but John Doe refused to be a cuck and used the power of his 10 ice-cold beers to fucking kill and forsaken Jane Doe. But of course, 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. And his minions jumped him, but then Bilderman came out of nowhere and banned John Doe because he was Jane Doe's #1 sub. In the Bandlands, John Doe learned how to hack, so he hacked Bilderman's account and unbanned himself. John Doe went over to One Egg's house and tried to beat his ass. But One Eggs beat his ass and made John Doe watch a vid of him piping down Jane Doe. But then Shedletsky appeared out of nowhere and saved John Doe and killed and forsaken One X. But then One Egg's blackness splattered all over John Doe because yellow people gotta stick together. But shortly after, John Oreos got jailed for domestic violence and soon died in prison and got forsaken, and you have to commit a sin to be forsaken. So John Doe's sin was beating his wife, Jane Doe's sin was being a whore, and honestly, One Eggs didn't even do anything that bad. It's just that the Spectre was jealous of One Eggs having a bigger dick than him. Anyways, that's gonna be all for now. If you want another character to get their lore explained, tell me in the comments. Bye-bye.